If we can get started, we'll go ahead. Thank everybody for coming. We talked a couple months ago at our last board workshop about some basic minimal design standards for exterior buildings and commercial and office type settings. And we talked about brick and stucco and all the different types of things that you can put on a building. And from that, we haven't really gotten too far, but what we wanted to do tonight is show you a presentation Ruth has developed and talked to the Planning Commission about in the past, but also wanted to talk to the board, mayor, and alderman about the town center district ordinance, design standards, everything that has been developed so far. They've done a lot of research, been a lot of places, looked at a lot of different things. And we talked a lot about details last time, and that you want to get into the details or you want to hold off on the details and just be very, very minimal. So by giving you an overview of this, hopefully that'll let you see a little bit more about what's out there for design standards. Hopefully give the planning commissioners that are here a little bit more of a feel for that kind of stuff too. And then just if there's any questions or discussion or feedback, what we would like to be able to do is come back forward in a month or so and have some kind of ordinance in front of you to start this whole minimal standards process. So anyway, with that, I will turn everything over to Ruth and let her go through her presentation, and I'm sure feel free to jump in at any time and ask questions.
This presentation, when the Planning Commission was asked to put together the town center district, what we were trying to do is do a visual preference type thing and show people the wide range of what's out there to get feedback from people as to what they wanted to see. Some of the board members obviously participated in the process just by being members of the Planning Commission, but then some of the other board members also participated at various times just because they knew it was going to be coming to them. And what we adopted was the town center district, and there's a section in the zoning ordinance and then also a supplementary section in the municipal code that deals with more of the architectural review. And the pictures that I'm going to show you tonight really kind of jump around, but it's showing you a wide variety of things to think about. Now, primarily what we're looking at this point in time is really architectural review and where do we want to go from here, or where do we want to go at this point in time, but also how architectural aspects of buildings tie into everything else. Noah and Bob Markley had the experience from a building standpoint, and so their perspective is a little bit different than the average citizen from the things that, I think last time Jeff, you said you just never thought about how things were all tied together. I just realized Alderman Hoffman isn't here, but he went through this as we went through this with the Planning Commission, so he is familiar with it. The town center district requirements that's in the municipal code talks about different things that you look at as part of when you're looking at a building, and the building is made up of the cornice, the upper facade, and then the storefront. And then there's also, when you're looking at how the whole things fit together, not just the single building, but how everything fits together as a whole, you're dealing with height, width, relationship to the street, roof forms, proportion, composition, rhythm, proportion of openings and materials, colors. All that's actually addressed in the municipal code about what those things are and that kind of thing, but I'll kind of touch base on them a little bit. But as I go through these pictures, I'm going to touch on various aspects of these, but also how it ties into your streetscape, open space, sidewalks, signage, because they're all really tied together. But as we're looking at buildings, we're going for, on the front end, before we do our land use plan, what kind of architectural review do we want on the front end? This is Camden, Maine, and really this is just a street scene. It's showing a mixture of building styles and roof lines, roof types, and that sort of thing, but also building height and building width. And when you're looking at building height and building width, you look at the varied building heights and widths, because that's what gives your eyes oh, that's interesting, or wow, that's sterile, or ooh, that's way, it's not compatible. This is also Camden, Maine, but what you're seeing is varied building heights, different roof lines, different cornices. Here you have kind of this one kind of sticks out funny, even though you like this building, when you look at these roof lines, it's like, oh, that kind of sticks out funny, because then you have a building here, pops up, and that has more of a stair step look. And again, you're looking at your varied widths, storefronts, and buildings. This is also Camden, Maine. Again, you're looking at different roof lines, building widths, heights. Here you have a little bit more uniformity with height, then you run into a lower building. None of this that I'm pointing out to you is bad or good. What it's showing you is variety. And when you have too much variety, people tend to not like it. If you have too much sameness, people tend to not like it. This is also Camden, Maine. Proof and Point, Rite Aid Pharmacy. You can reuse buildings and you don't have to follow exactly again, you have a varied building height and width. This is Bath, Maine. Here you have different buildings and similar heights right here. Probably the most thing to point out here is the cornices. In our town center district, we require that there be a cornice. How it's described in our ordinance, and if you were to look it up, it would tell you pretty much the same thing, is that the building cornice is made of brick, wood, metal, or other materials and gives the building roof line a finished look. Cornice prevents the upper facade from falling off into the air. The decorative cornice provides the cap to the building, and we prohibit flat cornices. This is Portland, Maine, and we have the varied heights. They're not all the same, so they kind of go well together. Also look at the signage here. We have signage that is perpendicular to the road, that is more pedestrian oriented. If you're walking down the street, it's kind of hard to see signage. It's way up there. That's more suburban style. This kind of signage is really geared towards your pedestrian, and that's what you're looking for in certain type of districts. For us in the downtown district, that's really what you're geared toward, is the pedestrian. Again, you have the signage, but notice the center part of the building, which is called the upper facade, that's from this point up to the top. You have varied window openings. It's not a flat, boring front, and then you have varied cornices through here. This is Pleasant View Village, Tennessee. This is, lack of a better term, kind of in the middle of nowhere, and they're trying to build a downtown. Not too dissimilar to us, other than we are in higher growth pattern. But what do you notice about this building that's different from these buildings? There's no cornice. There's nothing decorative around these windows, and it really looks kind of plain Jane-ish. Very Proof and Point, you can have an all-brick building and not really look that appealing, even in that kind of a setting. And this is something that was important for us as the Planning Commission when we were going through this, and that's why we came up with the things that we were looking for, is because, in essence, we're trying to do the same thing that they're trying to do, starting from scratch. This is the side of the building where there will be another one that abuts right next to it. But again, there's really no cornice to this building. This is another building. That's the building we were just looking at. There's more cornice with this building. So it does make it more attractive. You've got higher first floor for your storefront. Both streets that it fronts on, you have openings, gives it an inviting look. You don't have a blank wall. When you look at this building, a little bit blank, more of a blank wall, but at least it isn't solid. But this one, you kind of have an inviting on all three sides. Signage, however, is all wrong. It's meant for suburbia. It's not meant for a downtown. It's great if you can see it from your car, but as this develops, more more buildings, if you're walking down the sidewalk, you're really not gonna be able to.
Where is this?
This is, Pleasant View Village is north of Nashville, near Kentucky line. Just a little statement, haven't known anybody to buy anything because of the flag on the road, but it's just an aside. Again, you know, they're doing it where you have your firewall here that's blocked, where the next building will butt with it. But it's actually for a newer building, and they do have the cornice and a little bit more decorative around the windows. Not like what you saw in the old, you know, the old building, but a lot more craftsmanship and expense goes with that. This is in Atlanta, Georgia, and my favorite story about this area in Atlanta, it's not too far from Georgia State University, is that I was walking down and I was taking pictures, and I admit I wasn't overly paying attention to other pedestrians on the sidewalk, but I came to a corner and I literally ran into this girl, and she was no better than me. She was turning around talking to a young man she was with, and she says, "I can't wait to show you this street. It's the coolest street around here." They looked to be college age, and it was interesting because she was really pumped up to show this guy, you know, what the street looked like. Here you have signs that are pedestrian oriented. Street trees provide shade. We are in the south, you kind of need that. Here's another view of it. As you're walking down the sidewalk, you can see all the businesses. You're not having to crane your neck up to see a sign that's flat up against the wall. Notice the sidewalk. You have some street furniture right against the building, but pretty large area for walking. Here's another view of it. Your street trees and your street furniture, but you're maintaining a clear zone for pedestrian passage, which all ties into the appealing nature of the buildings themselves, is making it appealing on the outsides of the front. Another, this is just on the opposite side, down the street a ways. They opted to keep your clear zone for the pedestrians immediately adjacent to the building and putting everything adjacent to the street. This is back in Bath, Maine. One of the things that Bath, Maine is an older city, and they had to retrofit for automobiles. And so you can tell where they narrowed down their sidewalks, but they still wanted to provide some kind of protection from vehicles and things. But they still maintain their street trees, at least on one side, with this particular scene. Here is going down that sidewalk that I showed you in the last one. See, there isn't much room. You have two people that are walking, and another person's coming up, and you can see they're turning around. It's like they're going to have to get over to let the third person in. So,
What footage is that?
Pardon?
What footage do you maintain?
This footage is about 8 feet. By the time you get, like, here's a trash can, and you get your street post, and there's light post, and there's not that much room to walk on, and then you definitely don't have any storefront area that can kind of approach into the sidewalk. But again, they retrofitted to accommodate the automobile at the expense of the pedestrian. Again, the same kind of situation in Portland, Maine, an older city, where they narrowed down their sidewalks to accommodate on-street parking and vehicles passing. So if you look at our town center district ordinance, because we're not retrofitting, the idea is you accommodate for them on the front end. You have adequate pedestrian passage and street furniture and street trees and on-street parking. Most businesses want to be able to have on-street parking in front of their business, which is understandable, and then also your vehicles passing through. This is also Portland, Maine. I agree with street trees 100%. Not sure if the above ground accommodation is overly safe